Okay, topic for today.
First of all, welcome to a new episode of
Serving You.
Our theme song is amazing.
Yeah, we're gonna license it.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Number one single coming out.
have a
Capitol
theme
Records.
song?
Yeah, that was it. You
That's
didn't
it?
fucking
Yeah.
pay attention.
It's short. It's a jingle.
And sweet.
Well, I wrote it, so do I get residuals or
you
No.
something?
wrote it. Okay.
This is 3 ways. Sorry, buddy.
No.
It was collaboration.
Like a three-way, somebody's always disappointed.
Yeah.
Welcome to
Thanks to
that.
that.
All right, our topic is from Melissa.
Me.
Let's do it. Let's dive in.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
So my question is, and I think from both of you, I would like your feedback as both a worker in the industry
Sure.
and then a consumer. Do you prefer corporate restaurants or mom and pop restaurants? Like, yes. So as a consumer, do I want to go eat at a mom and pop or do I want to go eat at corporate? And I think too, the answer kind of involves different factors of
Yeah.
a restaurant experience. I don't know if maybe you can total it and say I always prefer one versus the other, but yes, feedback, please.
Well, I will say that I actively look for locally owned mom and pop greasy spoons
As a consumer.
as a consumer.
I agree.
From the restaurant, if I were to ever go back into the industry, I would not want to work for a chain. I would absolutely want to work for something that's locally owned and operated.
And why is that?
That's just where my heart is.
Well, does a chain only include like Outback versus a restaurant on Central? Like the chain being Outback and then locally being a restaurant on Central?
Yeah.
Okay.
Although, if it were like a small local chain
about to say,
or
local chain.
regional chain,
Exactly. Yeah.
then it depends on how corporate it has become.
What is your disdain for corporate?
Because my experience has been, I don't want to call names, but in a way I do. I won't.
Drag them through the.
By the hair.
Okay, so
Please don't beat me.
when I first moved, so I moved to Tampa in 1995.
Okay.
And I lived there as an undergraduate, and so one of the very first local places I went to was Shell's. The original location on Dale Mabry, just south of just south of Kennedy.
Real quick, sorry. I'm so sorry for this. Do you remember when we were in high school in 1995? Like we were sophomores in high school, so excited about life. Go ahead.
I'm 8 years older than you.
Poking at you right now.
Oh, no. So anyway, and Shell's was one of my favorite places to go. Now, fast forward to, let's see, I moved back in 2007. So I went back to Shell's about that time, which I think was also about the time where they started opening other locations and then becoming more corporate. And then eventually, I want to say they became corporate. And everything took a nosedive. I mean, everything took a nosedive. Well, as you may know, they closed all of the locations except for maybe one or two, and now they've opened a couple of more locations, but they haven't went the corporate route again. And so, I'm not going to say that the Shell's that I loved and remembered is back, but it is closer to what I remember than it was when it became corporate. So my experience has been, if you get too big and you open too many locations and you become too corporate, something is going to give. No matter how hard you try, something is going to give. And typically it's quality and taste. And that's why I enjoy well, not only do I enjoy going to locally owned and operated places just because that way I'm keeping the dollar local and I'm supporting something. I am supporting a person versus supporting something that's corporate.
Do you consider Bella Brava corporate? Like they have they have one here, they have one in Tampa.
That's where it gets in the gray area. When you're talking about a restaurant group that owns a lot of different
Yeah,
locations, that's
exactly.
where you're starting to get into a gray area. And for me, it's like, oh yeah, I don't mind. I mean, I'll eat at chains.
For sure.
It's not my favorite thing to do, but
I'm just
I'll eat
getting
at chains,
definitions.
and I'll
Yeah.
go back to a chain if it's good. And so the same is with that regional restaurant group.
Okay.
If I go to one of your locations and it's good, but then let's say I find out you're part of a restaurant group, that doesn't automatically make you evil.
Of course not. You're not petty.
No.
But
Well,
so
I am,
you're-
but not in that way.
Not exactly. Okay. Is your opinion based on that one experience with the corporate? Is that the only corporate restaurant you worked for? Was
No, it ain't work for them. This is
Oh, okay.
solely from a customer point of view.
Okay, all right. So that was your example from customer point of view.
Yeah.
You felt like once they got corporate, their quality. I feel like with corporate, there's a little bit more reliability on consistency. Where when you go into a mom and pop place habitually, and maybe I only speak from the one I work at, it's kind of a hit and miss. Sometimes it tastes one way, sometimes it's another way, and that's because, there's the Swedish chef in the back with the fucking ingredients flying, prepping the food.
Well, I'll say it depends on what's consistent. Mm-hmm. If you're talking about a chain, something that's corporate, if the food is consistently good, then yeah, sure. But if you're consistently going and it's shit,
Well,
then
yeah.
no.
Do you think it turns to shit because a corporate chain has to account for like money and profit, and they want to make everything uniform, so it's all?
Well, overall, and this isn't just in the restaurant industry, my feeling is, and I'm not one of these, capitalism is bad, although it is. Once the focus is removed from the customer and quality, and the focus shifts to profits and keeping your shareholders happy,
Which is corporate.
Everything. My experience has been sometimes on the outside looking in that then everything takes a nosedive. Now there are a few chain restaurants that I have noticed that every time I go, even though it is a chain, it's good. And like I'll give it Culver's. I love Culver's. And not only the people there are nice. It's not like a Chick-fil-A culture thing or cult thing.
They're definitely a cult.
Yeah. But sometimes I'll go into Culver's and sometimes the people are super happy to see me and they welcome me, and sometimes they don't. That doesn't bother me a whole lot because they're busy. I'm like, how is the food? I have yet to go to Culver's and have a bad experience with the food, other than ordering something that I wasn't sure if I was going to like, but that was a personal preference, not that the food was prepared incorrectly
Right.
or badly.
Did you give it back and ask for your money?
I did not.
Just kidding.
No, I ate it.
And what do you think though about when working for? Do you have a preference? Because you've worked a lot of restaurant
So,
jobs.
first of all, I like mom and pop places, but I also like mom and mom places and pop places because I like keeping the pink dollar in the community if possible.
Oh my
unlike
God!
Brexit.
Oh, did we all hear my fucking eyes roll?
Also, that's the longest I've been quiet in forever, and it was killing me.
That was real.
Just
I
so
was
we're-
impressed. I actually thought that.
Just so we're
Biscuit. I
very
was like,
clear.
wow.
I started
Jeff's
timing.
doing so big.
I was timing how long I was quiet.
Well, let me tell you what was going through my mind. I'm like, this motherfucker is waiting for me to say something that he can pounce on. Yeah, I know how his brain works.
Yeah, you said it at the beginning, and then I had to wait my turn to get that joke out. God, that took too long to get to.
All right. So yes.
So, all right. I do love local places.
When eating, or when working. Both. Okay.
Because, so I helped open up Beaks Old Florida in St. Pete, which was a flash in the pan of a while, that it was like part of this kind of heart of the Grand Central District that helped build what the Grand Central District is. And quite literally, we were the second restaurant there. The local neighborhood was coming in, and it helped spawn more restaurants coming into that area. Being a solo-owned place, I was able to get away with a ton. The HR department was not existing, so I was able to be my full self, and that's what people came in for, right? Now, I'm not saying you can't do that at other places, but it was very much a you're able to be more expressive. I think there's less restrictions because there's less of that corporate mandate. Okay. That being said, we both worked in Applebee's, and say what you want about the food, say what you want about. There is a corporate stamp on there that when you go in, there's certain ways of doing things that each restaurant is the same. And it becomes, there are habits that are in there because, they're good habits to have.
They're standards.
Full hands in, full hands out is
Yes.
not just something that it was
Sounds
taught there.
good.
You had to do that at Applebee's. So those type things come from corporate. Working in it, so I went directly from Beaks Old Florida to the Don Cesar, which was owned by Lowe's at the time, and Lowe's is corporate. That being said, at that time they had like 8 hotels, so they weren't super big, smaller corporate, but they're still a massive corporate company. Maybe they had 12 hotels. Anyway, I went from the very typical working hard, making cash, spending cash, saving money when I needed it type thing, to having paid PTO, having health insurance, having, all of a sudden we were getting a check every 2 weeks because a lot of our tips went into, credit card and room service charge went into your paycheck. So now I'm getting a paycheck, which helped me start learning how to budget more. That came from a corporate setting. So corporate does give you, as an employee, certain benefits that mom and pop places can't afford. Now, is that a systematic problem? Yes. But, when all of a sudden I was putting money into a 401k, I was getting PTO. The idea of PTO in a restaurant, in 20 years I had never thought of. And then
crazy.
all of a sudden I'm working at a place and they're like, yeah, you get paid time off. And I was like, so if I'm not working, I can actually get, that was it. Because in restaurant industry, if you don't work, you're not making money.
Nope.
If you take 2 weeks off to do a vacation, good for you, but you haven't made money in 2 weeks now. So the idea of having PTO was insane to me. A 401k was crazy. That all comes from corporate structure. Can you do that in mom and pop places? It's very hard for the system to let that happen. So from an employee standpoint, there's give and take on it. I found maybe I toned down. I found how to be myself in a corporate setting. I wasn't as me, maybe, as I was at Beaks Old Florida, a standalone mom and pop place. But that being said, what I got out of it, to me, made it a lot kind of worth it type thing. I stayed there for many years, 8.5 years, I want to say. So, do I have a preference in working, going into work you work, preference on working is, here's the reality, to my opinion, and, I'll get your opinion right after to see if we feel the same. But, chef tip, my opinion is, my opinion on the restaurants and working in a restaurant is 10% of your work and caring about going to work is the actual restaurant itself. 80%, I'll do this, 70%, 10% is the restaurant itself, wherever you're working. 70% is who you're working with. 70% is the staff that you're surrounded with. If you like them, you like going to work. And then the other 20% is your is the customers. Liking the customers is great. Liking the customers that's fantastic. But at the end of the day, 70% of me being excited to go into work or not going into work is about who I'm working with. So at the Don Cesar, I enjoy the people I work with. I enjoyed going into work. When I worked at Beaks, I enjoyed the people I work with. I enjoyed going into work. Either place, my excitement for going in had very little to do with the place, and had more to do with who am I working with that day.
Your coworkers. Interesting.
So do you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to me getting out of bed and going into work, the difference wasn't mom and pop or corporate. The difference was
Who you're surrounded
who
by.
am I working with, and I got more benefits from a corporate setting. Now, as a consumer, when we're traveling, when we're out, I know we look up local diners in whatever city we're in, because that's going to give us a feel of that city. That's going to give us the personality of that city a lot more than a corporate place. That being said, when we're out west, we're going to stop at a Del Taco. We're going to stop at an In-N-Out Burger. There are
Yeah, those are those
regional
Western-based
chains that it's like, I don't get, when we're driving, I'm going
Yeah.
to stop at a Whataburger on the road because I don't have one near me and I love a Whataburger. Like, there's corporate chains, but that's what corporate brings is, like you said, it gives standards, right?
Yep. Consistency, I feel like.
Everywhere you go, that McDonald's burger is going to taste the same.
Mm-hmm.
Pro or con of McDonald's, that's what McDonald's did. They created a standard.
Well, it's supposed to.
Literally.
It's supposed to.
But literally, that is how McDonald's was
And
born.
that's the concept of it.
Yeah.
Was wherever I'm at, I know what I'm getting. Whether you like it or not, I know it's going to be that same. It's supposed to be that same level everywhere I go.
Mm-hmm.
As we learned, if you're in New Zealand getting it, you can. They actually, have the beef. They tell you the farm it came from. It's more real. When we get out of America, it changes a little bit. But
Yeah,
even
the standards.
all of the McDonald's in New Zealand, it should taste the same. So you do get consistency, I think. But I still look for mom and pop places. I know when we are picking places to eat, picking places for lunch. I know we like eating more local than we do chains. That being said, we've been back to Shells. I'll get a shrimp Diablo.
I'm not scared.
I ain't afraid of no shrimp Diablo. I was eating it in 1995 too.
Do it now.
But
When you were 3 years old.
when I was 15, yes, and it was too spicy for me, and I'd still order it, and my parents would say, "You're not going to finish it because it's too spicy," and I'd say, "I'm going to get what I want." And then I took 3 bites, and I'm like, "This is too spicy," and then we took it home, and my mom or dad ate it. Yes.
He still does that, by the way.
Stop.
So it's a split decision for me, right?
No, I agree. Yeah,
also,
split
but I like
decision.
supporting local because I want local to succeed. Mm-hmm.
Of course. It's a good thing to do when you live.
Like we talked about,
someplace.
their new coffee shop, Vietnamese coffee shop, just moved into town, and their prices are the same as Starbucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing: I think Starbucks is delicious. You put enough cream and sugar into anything, I'm going to find it delicious. That's fine.
Duh, yeah.
But at the
Sugar,
same
yeah.
time, if I'm paying the same price, I'll spend it locally. Why not?
Yeah,
Like,
right, yeah.
If you're giving me just as good of delicious coffee, then let's spend the money locally. Spend the money in the community. So I do think as an employee, I benefited more.
I
But
agree.
there was 100% something to be said about building something in a community. Me working at this restaurant, Beaks Old Florida, I helped, and sounds so fucking pretentious to say, but there's a reality too. I worked there for 5 years. It was this neighborhood that we're in right now is like one of their favorite local places to go to. And I helped build a thriving district that I didn't know I was helping build.
That's cool.
Just being their favorite bartender to go to in a local bar that created opportunity for more bars to say, "Oh, we can survive here too." To now, as you drive up and down Grand Central, it's restaurant,
Yeah,
coffee
it's
shop.
bumping.
It's wild.
For sure.
And I was I was part of the second restaurant there that I helped put in. So it's knowing that the history books will not mention me, but knowing
So humble. Not to sound pretentious, but
don't even get me started on microbreweries and
he pioneered that too, okay? Grand
Technically.
Central District, microbreweries.
technically microbreweries in St. Pete owes me a
Big
footnote.
time.
But
Thank you.
That's besides the point. That's not important, and that's not this topic.
next
But yeah, so that's I don't know if I answered the question as much as I'm just as confused by it.
I feel like you emphatically answered it.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm done talking.
So what I'm hearing is it's very much a personal thing, depending on what you as a person wants out of it.
And prioritize and value. Yeah.
So the one person who hasn't weighed in, who has had,
You have the
so-
shifty eyes,
so-
yo.
and who has had the most time to think about it because it was their question.
Yes.
Melissa,
It's my feedback.
yeah, what is your feedback on local
both sides.
versus corporate?
Yes. So
As a consumer and as someone who is currently working in the industry.
yes, I love this. Thank you, Matt, for passing me the mic.
Absolutely.
so-
Baton passed.
I would have to agree with Jeff when it comes to the consumer.
Boo.
Oh, Madonna Mia. When it comes to the consumer.
She loves me more.
Never, Jeff. Know your place, honey. Okay.
Cut.
We're editing that.
Nope. Staff meeting. Staff meeting. Everyone, staff meeting. Staff meeting.
Where are the people coming from? It's insane.
What's
I
that?
didn't know we had a staff. Okay, So I agree. As a consumer, I do like the mom and pop places because you get authentic food, especially when traveling.
So you're agreeing with me, just to be clear.
Yes, you did say it first. Very true. Thank you. I'm sorry, Biscuit. My bad. But there are some good regional chains that you should visit, and the consistency when it comes to that reliability, you definitely have it with a chain because they have standards and all of that protocol set because they want to thrive. They're a business. When it comes to an employee, and maybe I just haven't had the best experiences in a mom and pop, but I feel like there's so much wiggle room in a mom and pop place that if you work next to people who don't hold themselves to a standard and don't work at a level, you're kind of left like a man alone on an island. And then, and it only really has happened in mom and pop. Like I worked at Dan Marino's when we had one at, where's that place? Downtown. Whatever. It's like downtown, really fancy place. Yeah, I don't know if they're considered corporate or mom and pop because they weren't like a chain per se. I think they had one in Orlando maybe, but they had
That sounds about right.
expectations. You weren't allowed to act in a certain type of way. They had a standard.
Yeah, they have standard. Yeah.
Oh, Madonna Mia. When in a mom and pop, it's like a fucking free for all.
Were you just referring to your current manager and owner as a plop?
No, I was not. Do not put words in my mouth, sir. Sirs, thank you so much. Because, this is a big topic for me. I'm kind of getting to my breaking point with a lack of standards and accountability. And it dawned on me, like, maybe I do need corporate. Maybe, there are rules and I can't drop the F-bomb. But maybe that's okay because I'm a fucking professional server. I'm 46 years old and I want to do a job and I want to fucking do it well.
Yeah.
And I want it to be fair where I work and I want everybody to be held to the same standard. And why is it that the best way to lose a good person is to let bad behavior go unfucking checked?
Yeah. There's not a lot of employee handbooks at mom and pop places, by the way.
Oh crap. I wondered, like, man, as a server, what do I prefer? I always thought it was mom and pop, but I also worked for Stone Soup. I'm name dropping that.
Yeah.
And we'll speak of the previous owner. I've heard that it's changed hands. There was 2 owners ago. It was that really old deli style, and it was like greasy spoon, great homemade soup.
Yeah. Love that.
Then a man bought it. He totally redid the inside, made it like an old English pub. Beautiful work. He was the most mentally imbalanced man I've ever worked for.
And that's saying a lot.
It really is. It really is. But like, there was no predictability. He would fly off the handle. You had no protection because it's mom and pop. There's no HR.
That's the big thing that I was saying. Yeah,
Holy
no HR.
shit. You talk to each other any way you want. There's nobody to fucking tell. You just, you gotta lick your wounds and go home. Great, thanks. Great. So yeah, I wonder. I'm leaving my current place. So, and I'm not telling anybody. In fact, you're the first ones to know.
I've got bad news for you. You just
This
told
has
the
been
world.
recorded,
But we're not
I think.
gonna air it till later, and that's why I'm doing it because I'm not gonna tell my tables. So I feel really bad about that because it's not the customers that are making me want to leave. I need a change of scenery.
Do you know where you're going?
Yes.
I was going to say, do you want to go to a hotel on the beach? I'll put in a call. I'll call today.
We might talk after this because I'm not definitely sure where
I'll
I'm
call
going.
today.
Okay, but I need a change. It's breaking my spirit to have a certain level of pride and ethics in what I do, and then watch people next to me not, and management just doesn't care.
And this is kind of a tangent, but still related. What I think a lot of people don't realize, a lot of people in management, what I don't think they realize until it's too late, is when you have someone that's really, really good at what they do, and then they're having to deal with all the bullshit from the people that aren't so good at what they do, or maybe they're good at what they do, but they do whatever they want. Well, pretty soon, all the good people leave, and that leaves you with all the garbage. And then next thing you know, that's affecting your restaurant. And next thing you know, and this is dramatic, a bit of a dramatic example, but I saw that. And next thing you know, you're closing your doors because you refuse to be a manager.
Yeah.
It took 2 years after I left Beach for them to sell to somebody else.
It's because you left.
2 years after that, they changed restaurants completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, see. So yeah, that's I'm at a crossroads, and I was
Yeah.
wondering what you guys thought. So yeah, that's how I sum it up.
Well, that is a sobering end
It
to
was.
another episode of
Serving
you.
And I love
But
you
at
all.
a different place.
I love you all. You'll always be my biscuit.
You'll always be my gravy.
Thanks.
And Jeff will be Jeff.
He is Jeff.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
just
well, I'm
Jeff.
glad we caught that right here at the end.